Okay, this video is an attempt to explain why it is that I make a daily smoothie. I've been in talks with friends of mine lately that they were awfully curious as to why you would make a daily smoothie. They know that they've gotten popular in the most recent years, but I explained to a few people why it is that I do it, and I think they were just kind of not aware of some of the things that could do for you, and maybe why they've gotten so popular. For me, it's a couple reasons. I think I don't typically like vegetables. I did not like vegetables as a small kid, and I just, started eating some salads and things when I was younger, but I certainly don't think I ever probably ingested the proper amount of green leafy vegetables and some of the other vegetables that have B12 vitamins and some of the other vitamins that really are required for your brain to be high functioning, to feed your body after you work out. I was always active in sports, so I probably didn't ingest a lot of the right vitamins. I almost, as a refusal to eat vegetables as a kid. So as an adult in the last few years, I have taken to making smoothies. I'd like to probably give credit to my wife. Matter of fact, there she is right there. She got me into this a couple years ago. She's been doing it for several years, and me being as stubborn as I am, I kind of wasn't into it, and then slowly got into it, and I kind of ran with it and started doing it on my own. So it's kind of the reason I'm not in the kitchen. I have very limited counter space. I've got a little studio apartment here in Daleville, Alabama. So when I prepare these, the powdery supplements that go into the smoothies, I like to prepare 2 or 3 weeks of these at a time. That way I can just take the capped cup. These are 4-ounce disposable cups that you can get. You can buy like a gazillion of these on Amazon. They have these little caps. Disclaimer: these are not very sturdy. Don't attempt to pack these in a briefcase, a backpack, or a suitcase. Ask me how I know. They will make a mess. So if you think they're going to get jostled around, they're really just for cabinet storage and to save time when you need when you're trying to make a smoothie quickly and on the go. So some of the things that I put in the smoothie, I'll start with the Benefiber here. Benefiber is just obviously a source of fiber. They boast that you can put Benefiber in anything. You can even put it in your coffee. I think the dosage is like a tablespoon is what I use, and I use a little less than I normally do because some of my other supplements over here have also a little bit of fiber in them. So the next thing I put in is turmeric. This is an instant drink mix, so it goes well. There's no sugar in here, but it has a 500 milligram turmeric complex that goes in it, but it is bright orange, and it does make the smoothie rather colorful. Celery juice. This is made by Dietworks. This is kind of like a knockoff version of It Works Greens. So it boosts your immune system, and it's really just another kind of green leafy vegetable kind of processed and mixed up. It does come with lots of calcium and a little high in sodium even. But organic celery, a 6-gram supplement of that. I've got some other things, but I'll cover this. I do use a little bit of a sugar replacement. I know there is kind of mixed opinions on, how bad some of the sugar replacements like Splenda, pink packets, blue packets might be for you. I think, the jury's out on how good or bad some of these newer things are. I really just add a little bit of that for taste. Obviously, if I'm doing these smoothies from a utilitarian standpoint, I never have been real concerned with how they taste. I know I kind of plug my nose, but this does help it taste better after I add, 4 to 5 ounces of fruit. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So coming over here, just some of the superfood blends that I use. This one's empty. I need to pick up some more of this. the superfood blend. This is just a plant-based protein with some stuff mixed in here. This one made by Better Body Foods. It's an organic energy blend, and it's a little heavy in maca and some green coffee. This is a antioxidant, and this is why I back off of my my fiber supplement with the Benefiber, because it comes with 5 grams already packed in it, and it also comes with 100% daily value vitamins of things like A, C, E, B12, and those sorts of things. So coming over to the device that I use, again, I want to back up and just say for a minute that, I certainly don't claim that I'm any kind of expert. This smoothie that I make is really just a self-improvement, try to make myself a little bit more nutritionally aware and accountable to myself. My wife and I have been doing it for a while. She kind of leads the way in that department, but I definitely want a disclaimer that this is simply what has been working for us. Those of you who know me, I enjoy plenty of carbs, plenty of candy. I do love chocolate, those kinds of things. But this is an early morning. This is the first thing that I eat. I typically start with 12 ounces of water because I read that somewhere that it's good to ingest water and kind of wake your organs up with some hydration. And then I do drink a couple cups of coffee. Typically before I drink the coffee, I'll ingest the smoothie. Ends up being about 12 ounces. So not an expert, don't claim to be an expert. This is probably the entire video is anecdotal and really just what works for me. Back to the turmeric, I really do think that the turmeric reduces inflammation. I know there's some studies on lion's mane mushrooms and things, but turmeric works for me. It kind of does for me what glucosamine and chondroitin do for other people. I think it really keeps me from having to ingest any Motrin, naproxen, or anti-inflammatories that often come with working out and lifting. I do work out, a couple times a week at the gym. I try to run a couple times a week and mix it all in as a whole body kind of thing, so that keeps the soreness down if my gym visits go with too great an interval in between. So over to the device. This is what I use. I am currently doing a lot of remote working here in Alabama. I go home on the weekends, so I don't have a big Vitamix or a Ninja or a great big blender. This is something that I could that I purchased. I think this ran me about $80-90 when I bought it. It comes with 2 of these kind of shaker bottle looking things. One is smaller, this one is a little bit bigger, and what I like about it is you can attach the motor or the driven blade part to the top, and then I won't actually attach the whole thing. It's not plugged in because I brought it in here, but you can kind of lock it in, and then when you lock it, that's what activates the motor, and then the blades churn everything up to include the fruit, the green leafy vegetables, and this pre-packed 4-ounce cup of whatever plant protein and powder I put in it. So what I do is I take this first. The first thing I do is I put about 3 ounces of water in there. And what that does is that keeps any of this powder from settling near the bottom and getting stuck at the bottom. And once you flip it upside down, it won't mix properly. So I start with water, then I'll add the powdery substance in. And then after that, just kind of a handful of green leafy spring spinach mix, or a mixture of kale spinach mix works also. I freeze the green leafy vegetables. I know a lot of people, there's some debate about whether the nutritional properties stay intact after you freeze it. I kind of use it to keep the smoothie cold and add, just a little more icy, slurpy kind of feel to it, this consistency. But anyway, so, and then I add, typically, I think I use more strawberries and blueberries than anything else. I try to stay away from the Dole products. They seem to be much higher in added sugar, pineapple and some of the other ones. I may have that backwards, but to feel, they seem to be less sweet. I don't, want to pack it with a bunch of sugar. I do, I do eat a certain amount. I'll grab a candy bar during the course of the day. Those of you who know me, I get plenty of sugar day to day, week to week. So I try not to add too much sugar here. I think that's about it. One other thing, if these things are good, the NutriBullet Pro, the glasses are good, but as a lot of you know, with pre-workout or any protein shakes, you leave these, especially those in the southern states where your car gets hot during the day, if you leave these in a gym bag or something, you're in for a treat when you go to clean it or open it up. They stink to high heavens, and they get pretty gross, and they're even hard to clean with the dishwasher if they've dried on, or even a scrubby attempt. So what I typically do, I make it, and again, I drink it kind of quickly in a utilitarian fashion. I don't drink it, I don't slam it, but I try to drink it before I get on the road, because I've gotten to the point to where I don't really like having them in my vehicle or carrying them in the office or around in the aircraft when I fly, because they get kind of nasty. So I think that's about it. This is my first attempt. I think I'm going to publish this to YouTube. I just had lots of people ask me lots of questions lately, and I felt the best way to explain what I've done is just through a quick video. That's it. Thanks.